Hey there, Tony Policastro here, host of the Acoustic Tuesday Show, founder of Tony's Acoustic Challenge, and yes, full-time guitar geek. Today we're going to be looking at the Firstclass Overhead Parlor Guitar from Journey Instruments. The Firstclass Overhead Parlor Guitar, or FP412 as their nomenclature indicates, is an extremely travel-friendly instrument. In fact, this guitar folds up, the neck comes off, and it stows away in a roller bag that, yes, fits in an overhead compartment. More on that in a second. Let's actually dig into the specs of this instrument. We've got a solid Sitka spruce top paired with forward-shifted X bracing, which really contributes to an extremely responsive top. I found with this guitar that I barely had to play it, and it was issuing sound pretty freely. In fact, the action is set really low, and I thought, it might not have the volume I want, but it certainly had volume in spades. The back and sides of this guitar are solid African mahogany, and there's something interesting about the body. Well, actually two things. First, it's got the arm bevel, which is extremely comfortable because it doesn't cut into your picking arm. And second, it has the Manzer wedge. Developed by Linda Manzer, an incredible luthier, it's actually thinner at the top and thicker at the bottom. So you have all the comfort of a thinner guitar, but all the sound of a thicker, more deep-bodied instrument. And again, this guitar freely offers sound. It's got a wonderful bass, and it really has this kind of depth of tone that you wouldn't expect from a travel guitar or a parlor-sized instrument. Onto the neck, we've got a mahogany neck with a shallow C profile, and overall it's extremely comfortable to play. An 1.75" bone nut to match the bone saddle down here, ebony pins, an Ovan Cole bridge, which is really a nice touch for a travel instrument. Overall, I mean, to say that it's an all solid wood travel instrument that folds up, you think, gosh, that's a little scary, but because the neck comes off and it is so convenient, it's actually really easy to travel with. A lot of times with travel instruments, you sacrifice structural integrity for the ease of travel or durability. And in this case, it's really the best of both worlds because it's easy to travel with and it's all solid wood and has really, really great tone. The scale length is a nice, comfortable 24.5" scale length, so it's a little bit shorter. The strings definitely feel slinky. I dropped the low string down to a D, and I found that that was probably the max I could drop the string before running into some setup problems, just because the scale length is short and we're dealing with light strings as well. So the action's already set pretty low. But it still really functions very well in that drop D tuning, as you'll hear. The headstock is tiny because it is a travel instrument, and this is really built for convenience. You've got mini Grover tuners, the Journey inlay at the top, a string tree to keep the strings in line as you take the neck off so they don't get kind of knotted up or confused or tangled. And I gotta say, this guitar, for being as small as it is, for being a travel instrument, issues fantastic tone. I think if you find yourself traveling often, find yourself maybe taking trips or commuting via plane, this is a wonderful companion because it does stow away into the overhead compartments. I had traveled with a larger Journey fold-up guitar and found the bag to be just a little bit bigger than I wanted. This guitar solves that problem. The bag is slim, it's condensed, you have room in it for a computer, and you have your guitar with you. A good sounding guitar at that. So make sure to check out the Journey FP412, the first class overhead parlor guitar. Fantastic instrument and a fantastic travel companion as well. Now, one more thing before I let you go. Let's put it this way. You're a guitar geek. You're watching this review and you probably want more guitar geek things. You probably want more inspiration, more gear, more industry news. Well, please subscribe to this channel because every single Tuesday I host the Acoustic Tuesday show. It's your weekly dose of inspiration, gear, acoustic artists, and overall living your best acoustic life. And a bonus, you actually get to join together with all your fellow guitar geeks and watch the show. So it's an awesome time. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an episode. And I'll see you next Tuesday on the Acoustic Tuesday show. Cheers.